how to properly do a 48-hour fast is a little bit more complicated than just not eating for 48 hours. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I guess it isn't that complicated. But I have a way of doing things. I'm kind of notorious for being detail-oriented with stuff like that. So I figured, you know what? The best way to instruct how to do a 48-hour fast properly and how to break a 48-hour fast properly is to actually do it with everyone. I tend to do a 48-hour fast to a 72-hour fast once a quarter. I don't go over the top with it. I find that I feel really good. The benefits are definitely there as far as, for me, digestion, complexion, my skin. I feel like I just get a reset, and then of course there's a tremendous fat loss effect because you're not eating for 2 days. But if you just go right back in your normal patterns, it can be problematic. So on July 15th, I'm encouraging people to do a 48-hour fast with me. Now, obviously this video is going to explain the details of the fast. I put a link down below for a printout or a PDF. You can view it on your phone, view it on your computer, you can print it out, whatever, your Kindle, I don't care. That's going to show how this is going to go down. It's going to be a simple one-pager. It just explains, hey, here's how you fast, here's how you break the fast, here's the things that are allowed that you can consume during, and here's what I recommend breaking your fast with, and here's what I recommend the following day looks like. Because I'm not saying that you can completely negate the benefits of a 48-hour fast by eating poorly the following day, but really, if you want to extend the benefits of that fast, there's some things that you can do. Like you can eat a structured way in somewhat of a, how do you put it, fasting mimicking style. If you know Dr. Valter Longo's work, which you may or may not agree with him on some of his stuff, and I may not either, but the one thing that is true is that he does have that stuff down to a science as far as like extending or mimicking a fast even while eating. So how do we go from a 48-hour fast and then break our fast and then continue to eat for a day where we continue the benefits, not from a caloric standpoint, but many of the benefits of a fast, and then can kind of seamlessly go right back to our lives. So hopefully it gives you a playbook. One of the main things that you can consume during the fast is electrolytes, by the way, and you know this is coming. You know the pitch is coming. But at the end of the day, like Element Electrolytes is making this challenge possible. They're saying, okay, if you want to do this challenge, we'll support it, and we'll give a free sample variety pack to anyone that makes a purchase with Element at all. So the link down below, just beneath this video in the top line of the description, that is going to be a link to try Element Electrolytes, which are entirely fasting friendly, but now they have a sparkling ready to drink version as well. Still the same 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, 60 milligrams magnesium, but it's in a sparkling ready to drink can. So while you're fasting, that is something that you can enjoy during this 48-hour period. It's like you're drinking a soda. And it's awesome. And the calories are so negligible, we're talking very small, that they're not going to break a fast. In fact, it's almost just a formality that they have to put they have X amount of calories, even though it's really only like a couple. So that link is down below, but also beneath that is, again, the whole PDF. Whether or not you use Element or not, totally fine. Like that's up to you, but the PDF is going to explain like what else you can consume, like in the way of black coffee, green tea, yada, yada. Most of the evidence suggests that a lot of the benefits of fasts for like the purpose beyond fat loss, they really come in like after 24 hours. Okay, we see some more benefits happening then. And when you look on the internet and you see people talking about how fasting is just caloric restriction, they're not wrong, but it is pretty extreme caloric restriction. And caloric restriction, I like to look at it as a dimmer switch, not an on-off switch. So if caloric restriction was just an on-off switch, that would mean that right now, because I haven't eaten in 2.5 hours, I am getting all the benefits of caloric restriction. I know I'm in a deficit at the moment, but I don't think I'm in as much of a deficit as I would be if I hadn't eaten in 32 hours or 42 hours, right? So it is a dimmer switch as far as what's called AMPK phosphorylation is concerned. So the longer that you fast, yeah, the more you dim that switch or turn off the, go into a deficit up to a certain degree. A lot of the evidence does suggest that after 48 hours, there's a line of diminishing return. So as you start creeping up towards 72 hours, it starts to the benefits kind of go down. And after 72 hours, you kind of ask yourself, am I getting what I really want out of this? So 48 hours has always been like a sweet spot, 36 to 48. Now, you can take this protocol and do whatever you want with it. You can do it along with me on the 15th, but I'll be doing it with you in that case. Or you can say, hey, you know what? The 15th isn't good. I've got a dog grooming appointment that day, and I plan to eat Doritos while my poodle is getting bathed. That's completely fine. You shouldn't be able to fast that day, nor should you while your poodle is getting a bath. But if you want to do it another time, you've got the PDF, you can do whatever you want. We'll talk about how to actually break the fast strategically. And I say strategically because after 48 hours, you don't want to go to Five Guys and eat 3 piles of fries and a burger, okay? Not only will you not feel great, but you might end up having a pretty negative response, be seatbelted to the toilet, and it's just not fun. But if you strategically break it, then you can A, continue the benefits of the fast, but you can also break it safely where you don't have digestive discomfort, and you can kickstart muscle protein synthesis a little bit better. In case you were wondering what the main thing that you should consume is, it's gonna be protein, right? You wanna break your fast with lean protein, and you wanna keep it relatively small amounts at first, and then reintroduce as the day goes on. And people think that they immediately need to like eat a bunch of food. The less food you can eat upon breaking a fast, the better. Okay, you want to introduce food back into your system easily. Interestingly enough, there's some rodent model papers that suggest when rats would fast for 24 hours, they would ultimately end up making up those calories over the next month. Like little by little, the body would find homeostasis and equilibrium, because it always tries to, and the mice would eat ad libitum a little bit more until they balanced that whole 48-hour deficit, or in this case, 24-hour deficit back. What I want you to be aware of is, are you going to re-eat those calories that you didn't eat, or can you make a concerted effort to not? If you make a concerted effort using a prefrontal cortex that is strong in a human that's not in a rat, you might be able to. But at the end of the day, we're not just after the fat loss effect. We're after the cellular effects. We're after, yes, autophagy, even though people joke about it online. It's still a real thing. We're after the gut benefits, and all of that can still be had, even if you end up increasing calories later on. So use that link down below, download the PDF, learn what we're gonna do, and I would recommend if you are gonna use the Element electrolytes and you wanna do the fast with me, you probably want to order them ASAP so that you get them in time for the fasting challenge. But again, no pressure, you absolutely don't have to do that. The PDF is still yours, the breakdown is still yours, and I will hop on a live broadcast. I'll try to do a YouTube live, but I know sometimes algorithmically it doesn't always work. But I also encourage people, I will do a live on Instagram. So on Instagram, if you're on that platform, it's simply @ThomasDeLauer, and that way, the day after the fast, so one day into the fast, so that would be on the 16th, I'll hop on and do an Instagram live and just kind of give some updates on everything. So as always, that link is down below, and I'll see you tomorrow.